Well, the first time I really understood epigenetics was long before the word even existed. Back in 1977, while at the Yerkes Primate Center at Emory University in Atlanta, Georgia, I was a pathologist at the Yerkes Primate Center and did some stuff at the Center for Disease Control and that kind of thing. And I ran into the first non-human case of cystic fibrosis. Got experts in cystic fibrosis pathology from American universities, foreign universities, on their letterheads to agree that my finding was correct and the monkey did have classic cystic fibrosis. And I backtracked it because something like 12 age peers of this monkey who were not related in the same colony did biopsies on their pancreas and livers and lungs, and gosh, they all had cystic fibrosis too. So I know it was caused by an environmental problem, not genetics. And so I got excited and did the tracking and found out that there had been a mix-up in the feeding program of these monkeys, and it could be repeated to produce thousands and thousands of baby monkeys with cystic fibrosis. So it could be studied, and we could end the disease in kids like very quickly. I was very excited about it. Then, unsolicited, of course, the National Institutes of Health contacted me and wanted me to be the featured speaker to Animal Model Program. This is 1977. And they asked me for an abstract of my presentation. So I wrote down everything faithfully and truthfully and sent it in. And about a week later, I was terminated. I was fired from Yerkes Primary Center and the Emory University because they said I was sniffing glue because everybody knew cystic fibrosis was genetic and that I must be crazy, and they didn't want a crazy guy working at the university. And I said, well, don't I get to defend my research like a PhD student does their research, their program? And they said, no, this is so crazy. It's not worth our time to get a committee together so you can defend your research. You're gone. And so that's when I went back to school. It's a long, tortuous story, but eventually I got back to school at the National College of Naturopathic Medicine, became a naturopathic physician, primary care physician in the state of Oregon, and I think 21 other states at that time. And that was so I could spend my time treating kids with cystic fibrosis. I mean, I knew the cause, prevention, and cure of cystic fibrosis, and I wasn't going to let it go for another 1,000 years. I said, no. These kids have to have access to this stuff. That's when I had to learn how to deal with arthritis and fibromyalgia and lupus and high blood pressure and diabetes and obesity and heart disease and Alzheimer's disease and so on, because I couldn't make a living. I was a widower with 4 kids, 4 little kids. The littlest was a year and a half old. So I had a big financial responsibility, big time responsibility, and so I had to do other things in addition to this cystic fibrosis thing. Well, then about 5 years ago, took to Jerry Lewis from, the Jerry's Kids thing, the telethon for the Muscular Dystrophy Foundation, the cause, prevention, and cure of muscular dystrophy. We ran into that. We knew how to prevent and cure muscular dystrophy. And, of course, Jerry got excited. I said, look, we don't want any money from the Muscular Dystrophy Foundation. We just want to know if you want to be the one to make the announcement, because these are Jerry's kids. You've more than earned the right to make the announcement that the cure has been found. Gave it to Jerry. He got excited. He took it to the Muscular Dystrophy Foundation, and, oh, my gosh, they fired Jerry Lewis. That's why he hasn't done the telethon for the last 5 years. Okay? Well, all this information, names, who fired who, whose rotten research it was that came up with this accidental discovery, blah, 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 blah. Well, also, 1989, went to China, did 1,700 autopsies on kids that died of Keyshawn disease and known selenium deficiency disease. And as expected, because selenium deficiency is the basic root cause, there's other complicating factors, but the basic root cause of cystic fibrosis and muscular dystrophy. And so I figured, well, if Keyshawn disease is a selenium deficiency, then there's got to be some cystic fibrosis there. Sure enough, of this 1,700 and 595, fully 35% of these kids had cystic fibrosis, and 100% had muscular dystrophy. Published it, 1989. Sent copies of this to the Muscular Dystrophy Foundation. The Cystic Fibrosis Foundation never heard from them. The book Epigenetics came out a couple of months ago. Sent a copy of that, plus the original study from 1989 in Keyshawn Province, China. Still haven't heard a word from them. And so we got to get the information out. We can prevent cystic fibrosis and muscular dystrophy. We can reverse it. These are diseases that are not genetically transmitted, as they will say. It's just really tragic that they're more interested in continuing to look for the cure when the cure is already here. Why would they do that? Well, you don't generate a lot of money when you found the cure, right? it's very simple once you found the cure. They don't want to find the cure. They just want to raise money looking for the cure. You got it? Okay, well, get a hold of that book, Epigenetics, The Death of the Genetic Theory of Disease Transmission, the book, Rare Earths Forbidden Cures, and those two books together will give you the whole story. Oh, don't forget, throw in Dead Doctors Don't Lie. Epigenetics, The Death of the Genetic Theory of Disease Transmission, Rare Earths Forbidden Cures, and Dead Doctors Don't Lie. Those three books will actually teach you all you need to know about epigenetics. Epigenetics, of course, when you take the word definition, it is the science where you need to know what nutrients, what minerals, what vitamins, what amino acids, what fatty acids are required by your DNA, RNA, and your genes, and your telomeres, the end caps on your chromosomes, to maximize your genetic potential for longevity, for health, for intelligence, disease prevention, and everything you need to know about everything you need to know. This is kind of crazy. Your genes, your DNA, RNA, and your telomeres do need nutrition. If you don't give them everything they need, you might only get 20% of your potential. Just because you have good genes doesn't mean anything. You have to give your genes, your DNA, your RNA, and your telomeres everything they need to maximize your genetic potential. You don't give yourself the things you need, you may still have the potential to live to be 120, 140, 160, 180, 200, but you're not going to get there. You might die of a heart attack at 48, even though you have good genes. Even though Grandma lived to be 120, Granddaddy died at 102, and they were hellions. They just drank and smoked and danced all night, didn't rest, didn't eat right, and yet they lived to be 102 and 108, 115. And you died at 48 trying to do the same thing. Well, that's because you didn't give your genes, your DNA, RNA, and your telomeres everything they need. Okay? And so the book, Epigenetics, the book, Rare Earths Forbidden Cures, and the book, Dead Doctors Don't Lie, tells you how that happens, what you need to do to maximize your potential for all these things. Genetics, okay? The death of the genetic theory of disease transmission. Remember, the halls of science are filled with thousands and thousands of failed medical theories. And the theory that these diseases, cystic fibrosis and muscular dystrophy, cleft palate, things like cerebral palsy, all these things, no, they're not caused by genetics. There's no genetically transmitted disease. These are all caused by nutritional deficiencies of the embryo. Ladies, if you're in the childbearing years, and you're sexually active, I urge you, I implore you to be sure you're taking all the 90 essential nutrients before you get pregnant. Don't wait until you've missed 2 periods, and you'll significantly reduce the risk of any birth defects in your children. Okay, Doug, what pearls of wisdom do you have for us today?
I thought we'd talk about a CDC report that came out where the headline of this Fox News story reads, prescription drug deaths keep rising, according to the CDC, and they're talking about drugs like Vicodin and Oxycontin. They said it's quadrupled between 1999 and 2011. In 1999, there were 4,263 deaths linked to opioid drugs. By 2011, that number had climbed to nearly 17,000. They say it may even be higher because they did this looking at death certificates, and many of them just said it was drug poisoning and didn't even list what type of drug, according to Dr. Holly Hedegaard. She is an injury epidemiologist with the National Center for Health Statistics, and she was the lead author on this drug. She says the numbers we're seeing are definite underestimates. The team found the problem goes beyond opioid pain drugs alone. The CDC report says that deaths linked to a combination of opioids and benzodiazepine drugs like Xanax and Klonopin are also on the rise. 2011, nearly a third of opioid-related deaths were this combo, and in 1999 it was only 13%. And one of the shocking things was the greatest increase was in Americans ages 55 to 65. And according to another doctor, Dr. Robert Waldman, who's an addiction specialist, he says that over the past decade, the medical community is trying to treat pain more aggressively. He says the amount of opioids are administered by well-meaning physicians. And I think it's not really so much well-meaning, but it is the cha-ching factor.
Well, yeah, there's a lot of other things going on. I mean, that story is a small piece. This came out just last year. This is a yearly figure, Doug. The Institute of Medicine says each year, this is a yearly figure, medical doctors kill and injure 1.5 million people a year just from prescription errors. 1.5 million people are killed and injured, permanently injured, by prescription errors. We're talking about decimal point errors by the prescribing physician and fulfillment errors by the pharmacist. 1.5 million. That's just from simple prescription errors. Then again, you throw in everything together, we're talking 15 million are killed, injured, and infected, and the injuries include prescription errors. 15 million are killed, injured, and infected each year by medical doctors. They infect 2 million in hospitals. Of the infections, 2 million are in hospitals alone, of which 90,000 die. Here's one for you. Seniors, over the age of 65, they kill 15,000 a month from simple errors in hospitals. For screening tests, 15,000, that's 180,000 a year. When do they stop? They stop when you stop using them. Get a hold of the trilogy books, Let's Play Doctor, Let's Play Herbal Doctors, and Passport to Aromatherapy, and save yourself. We'll be back with Dead Doctors Don't Lie for these messages. Okay, Doug, let's go to callers.
All right, let's head to Las Vegas, Nevada. And Joe, you're on with Dr. Wallach.
Oh, Joe, you're on the air.
Good afternoon, Dr. Wallach.
Yes, sir. How can we help you?
I'm 57 years old, 6'5", 250 pounds. I was diagnosed about 7-8 months ago with high blood pressure, and I am a longevity. My wife and I are on longevity, and I am taking Tangy Tangerine, Beyond Osteo FX, Glucogel, EFA Plus, and Selenium. Is there something else I need to add to that list?
Okay, yeah, this is a SHAR thing. SHAR, and I'm assuming you're taking this per, body weight. You should take one full dose for everything per 100 pounds of body weight, so at least 2 doses of everything a day. That would be minimum. And 250 pounds, you might be, in some cases, like the calcium, I would do 3 doses on that because that can help the blood pressure. What else would you throw in, Shar, for the high blood pressure?
Ultimate Daily.
Okay, very good.
And he needs to get on a gluten-free diet, too.
There you go, yeah. Okay, that's a good question. Do you have any skin problems?
No, my skin's, I get dry in the winter. That's about it. Did she say Ultimate Daily? Is that correct?
Yes, sir, Ultimate Dailies. They're designed to support and promote healthy blood pressure. They're designed to support and promote healthy blood flow through obstructed arteries. It's one of those things where it very specifically, when you dilate arteries, the blood pressure goes down. When you get blood flowing through plugged up arteries, which we call PAD, peripheral artery disease, the blood pressure comes down. There's several ways it accomplishes this. And then the calcium deficiency can cause a high blood pressure. And so Shar is right, spot on. That's why she gets an A+. That's what I would add. And a guy your size, 250 pounds, I would take a minimum of 9. You could take 9 or 12 of those tablets a day, so 3 or 4, 3 times a day. That'll be 2 bottles a month of the Ultimate Daily tablets. And you'll be amazed at how fast this goes. I would like to know your creatinine levels, which is a kind of a kidney function test. So you can look back in your records if you've had a physical in the last year or so. Wouldn't hurt to know what your creatinine level was. If you're going in to visit a doctor, again, within a short period of time, you would want to ask specifically about, get a copy of your blood work, and we can go over it on the air here. But if you've just been diagnosed with high blood pressure, a creatinine level would be good to know, because if you have kidney problems too, it's a possibility they can be interrelated. Call us every couple of weeks, Joe, and we'll walk you through this. Well, stick with us. We'll be back with more Truth, Justice, and the Longevity Way on Dead Doctors Don't Lie after these messages.
All right, let's head to Los Angeles, California. And Sylvia, you're on with Dr. Wallach.
Hello, Sylvia, you're on the air.
Hi, Dr. Wallach.
Hi.
I'm 58 years old. I weigh about 160 pounds. I've been on dialysis for about 8 months, and I've been on your products for 8 months. I am currently experiencing edema and high blood pressure on dialysis. It's uncontrolled, and the edema is really the thing that's killing me right now.
Okay. Let me ask you a couple questions here. Are you also a diabetic?
No, it's controlled.
Well, yes, I am, but it's controlled. It's not no. The answer is yes, I am a diabetic, but I have it under control, right?
Yes.
Now, you're taking pills or you're taking insulin?
Nothing. I'm diet controlled.
Okay, very good. And so, what was your high blood sugar before you got it under control?
Oh, it was in the 300s.
Okay. And let's see. So just with diet, you're able to. Did you lose some weight? How'd you do that?
Yes, I did lose weight, but that was because of I was ill. I was a teacher, and I got into a mold-infested room, and that's the one that really killed me because it was affecting me.
Okay. Do you know what your creatinine? Okay. Do you know what your creatinine level is?
Yes, it's a 3.6 around there.
Okay, 3.6. Okay, and how many times a week are you getting dialysis? 2, 3?
3 times.
3 times. Okay.
4 hours.
You're going to a laboratory for this. You're not doing it at home.
No, I'm at a dialysis center.
Okay, so you're doing hemodialysis at a center. Okay, very good. All right. So here you go, Shar. This is a Shar thing. 160 pounds. What would you do for Sylvia for her diabetes, even though she's got it under control?
Well, she needs 2 healthy blood sugar packs, but
good.
Yeah, but she also needs the Ultimate Daily for the high blood pressure.
Okay, and also for the dialysis, because when you have dialysis and you have kidney failure, there's nothing wrong with your kidneys. What happens is the little afferent blood vessels that carry the dirty blood into the filtering units get plugged, and the kidneys will release a hormone called renin, R-E-N-I-N, and that renin will drive the blood pressure up. That's why high blood pressure and kidney dialysis usually run together, because the kidney releases a hormone to make that happen. And also, when you have kidney failure, in most cases, there's nothing wrong with your kidney. In most cases, when you have kidney failure, there's nothing wrong with the kidney, but what happens is the little afferent arteries carrying the dirty blood in the filtering units get plugged, and so the dirty blood can't get into the filtering units, and so your kidney function goes down, but not because of anything wrong with the kidney. So hang on, and Sylvia, when we come back, Shar and I will give you, a little more description of your program, and we'll go from there. We'll be back with more Truth, Justice, and the Longevity Way on Let's Play Doctor. Dead Doctors Don't Lie after these messages. Okay, Doug, we're going right back to California and Sylvia. Just a quick review here. At 160 pounds, you'd take 2 healthy blood sugar packs, as Shar said. That'd be a full dose of everything twice a day. And then, of course, with the dialysis and the edema coming on here, the Ultimate Daily tablets, high blood pressure, Ultimate Daily tablets, I'd go ahead and take 9 of those a day, 3 at breakfast, 3 at lunch, 3 at dinner. That would be 2 bottles a month of the Ultimate Daily tablets. And then give us a call every 2 weeks. We're going to want to know your blood sugar levels. We're going to want to know your blood pressure, your weight, and we'll walk you through this. Okay, Doug, let's go to callers.
Let's head to Maryland. And Carmen, you're on with Dr. Wallach.
Oh, Carmen, you're on the air.
Hi, Dr. Wallach.
Yes, ma'am.
I've been taking 90 for life for the bone and joints because I tore the rotator cuff and the top muscle are healed, but the tricep and the biceps are not completely healed. He said it would take a couple of more months of whatever you're doing, keep doing it. And I'm taking like 25 glucogel plus the 3 EFAs.
Now, how much do you weigh?
128 this morning, or 129.
Okay.
I'm 5'3".
Okay, you say you're taking 20 glucogel?
25.
25, okay. Well, you're serious.
I'm serious, yes.
Okay,
my
good
knee
girl.
cracks when I go up and down the stairs, and it doesn't when I take them all the time.
Yeah. Okay, now, so you're taking 1 or 2 of the Healthy Bone and Joint packs per month?
Just one, but I'm taking the white stuff, the osteo stuff in the morning, and then I'm taking the herbal rainforest in the morning, and I drink 1 or 2 of the BTTs a day with the...
Okay, the Beyond Tangerine?
Yeah, with the
okay, are you taking
rebound.
Are you taking any of the EFA pluses?
I take 3 every day, and 3 of the stress ones, whatever it is. They're all de-stress.
Oh, the de-stress? Uh-huh.
Yeah, I take 3 of those a day because I stress out at work because they are mean to me, and my feet get real sweaty. And
why are they mean to you at work?
Aroma.
Wait a minute. What kind of work do you do?
I'm a postal worker, and they're mad because I transferred because it's 10 miles closer to this other post office, but I was a mechanic, and they wouldn't let me transfer as a mechanic, so they made me be a clerk, and I've been a clerk in 20 years, and pushing the mail together to squeeze it, to put it on the legs, made my shoulders scream. So I can't do my job. So they're upset about it. So they're mean to me because of that.
Okay. Well, let's see if we can't get you 100% here. Shar, what would you do here? What would you do to kind of adjust her program a little bit?
Well, first of all, I would get her on a gluten-free diet because everything will work better.
Okay, good.
She'll get better
There's probably
results.
an absorption problem there, right?
Yeah, gluten-free.
Okay.
And
Very
as
good.
far as if she's taking glucogel, I would take a lot of glucogel. Oh, she said 25 a day. That's a lot of glucogel, yeah.
That's a lot of glucogel.
Yeah.
Yeah, what I would do, good point, Shar. What I would do is drop it down to 15 glucogel a day because you're only 128 pounds. I'd drop it down to 15 glucogel a day, but what I would do is replace that other 10 glucogels with 3 of the bone builder twice a day. It's going to come at your bones a little bit differently in a different direction than what you're doing, and it will support it. And so I would go down to 15 glucogel a day instead of 25, and I would take 3 bone builders twice a day. That'll be 2 bottles a month. And Shar is exactly right. You want to just be obsessive about staying away from gluten. That includes dry dog food, dry cat food, bird food, fish food, mother-in-law, people in the house. Everybody's got to be gluten-free in the house. Absolutely no gluten, no wheat, barley, rye, and oats. Maximize your absorption. Absolutely no fried foods, no processed meats with nitrates, nitrites, no oils, and certainly no gluten. Call us every 2 weeks. We want to know what your weight. Let us know if you still have cracky joints. And I suspect when you make this little change, you're going to see a very rapid increase in range of motion, which sounds like it's one of your major problems here, and strength and stamina. So we'll walk you through this, kiddo. Good job. Okay, Doug, let's go to callers.
All right, let's head to Yakima, Washington. And Susie, you're on with Dr. Wallach.
Hello, Susie, you're on the air. Oh, we can't hear you. We can't hear you.
Okay, let's move on to Dover, Arkansas. And Ann, you're on with Dr. Wallach.
Hello, Ann, you're on the air.
Hello. Hi.
Yes, ma'am. Hi.
I
What's
have
up?
the tremors. I have tremors.
Mm-hmm.
In the past 6 weeks, it's gone to my tongue. And I take medicine for it, but the medicine's not working.
Okay, now this medicine is a prescription medication by a doctor?
Yes.
Okay. Did he have a diagnosis for you?
No, he just said I had tremors.
Well, you knew that.
He did. Yeah. He didn't run any tests or nothing.
Okay, so you have these tremors in your tongue now also, correct?
Yes, and it's driving me crazy.
Okay, do you have any histories?
Three of them one time a day.
Prednisone?
No, Primidone.
Oh, Primidone, I'm sorry, thank you. Okay, now, do you have any history of any skin problems, any eczema, dermatitis, psoriasis, or rosacea?
No, sir.
Do you have any history of asthma as a kid?
No.
Do you have a history of your appendix being taken out?
Yes.
Okay, do you have any children?
Yes.
Or do they have any skin problems or asthma problems or appendix out or irritable bowel syndrome or anything like that?
No.
Do they have any health problems at all? Constipation, diarrhea?
No, I've always had problems with constipation.
Okay, but what about your kids?
No.
Okay. Now, Char, what's her basic problem?
She's got a gluten intolerance for sure.
Absolutely. Drop-dead gluten intolerance. And so you must get off of gluten, no wheat, barley, rye, or oats, no fried foods, no processed meats. That means no deli slices, sandwich meats, absolutely no oils, no olive oil, no coconut oil, no margarine, mayonnaise, salad dressing, cooking oil, and no gluten, no wheat, barley, rye, and oats. And what do you weigh, Ann?
About 168, and I'm 5'3".
5'3", okay. And so what would you do for her, Char? She got tremors. Doctor doesn't give her any diagnosis. She's starting to get them in her tongue as well as in her...
I would get her on the Healthy Brain and Heart Pack. 2 of them,
actually. Very good.
2 of them.
Okay. Okay, very good. 2 Healthy Brain and Heart Packs. Very, very good. There'd be 3 selenium twice a day, 1 ounce of the osteo twice a day, 2 scoops of the Tangerine 2.0 NutriCrystals twice a day, 3 of the EFA Pluses twice a day, and 3 of the EFAs twice a day. All that accomplished by the 2 Healthy Brain and Heart Packs per month. I would also throw in the de-stress capsules 3 of those twice a day. That'll be 2 bottles a month. I would also throw in the Smart FX, 3 of those twice a day, 2 bottles a month. And I would throw in Immortalium just to help the brain kind of recover and get stem cells going, make more neurons. Okay, that's the Immortalium, 3 of those twice a day, 2 bottles a month. And then give us a call every couple of weeks. But staying away from the bad stuff can be equally as important. And if you don't start seeing some benefit within 30 days, I'd go to another doctor. I'd go to a neurologist and ask them to make a diagnosis. Whether it's correct or not, we need to have something from a practicing doctor, and we'll be able to go from there. But let's start this way, and give us a call every 2 weeks. We'll be back after these messages.
Let's head to Las Vegas, Nevada, and Leanne, you're on with Dr. Wallach.
Hello, Leanne, you're on the air.
Hi, Dr. Wallach. It's a pleasure to speak with you.
Well, thank you.
I have been having lots of what I thought was digestion problems. I've been on tramadol for several years for arthritis, and I know that leads to constipation, but it's the only thing that I've found that allows me to, still be able to get around. I don't know what type of arthritis it is, but it's mostly my lower back. But I've been on the tangy tangerine for 3 months now. I try to take the osteobiflex, but the taste is really bad, and it's hard to. I like the tangy tangerine, not the 2.0, but the regular tangy tangerine, and the liquid version of the osteoflex. But it's hard to get the two together. But anyway, I went to a gastroenterologist, and they did the endoscopy down my throat, and today the colonoscopy, and just came back with polyps in the colon and inner hemorrhoids. But I'm always constipated. I always take a Senaleve or something fibrous to help.
I gotcha.
So I'm not.
How much do you weigh? Okay, Leanne, how much do you weigh?
Too much. I cannot get a. I can't do well with it because of all the pain. 200.
How much do you weigh? Okay, how tall are you?
5'6".
Okay. Do you have any skin issues, any eczema, dermatitis, psoriasis, or rosacea?
No.
Do you have any history of asthma as a kid?
No. I had croup as a kid.
Okay, so you had chronic croup, okay, which some people call bronchitis, okay. And do you have children?
Yes.
Do any of them have any health problems, any skin problems or asthma problems or gastrointestinal problems?
My youngest daughter has irritable bowel syndrome.
Okay, we found it. Okay, Char, what do we got here?
Gluten intolerance, for sure.
Okay, so exactly. What would you have her do? What would you do to her diet, Char?
Well, that's one of the reasons of her weight, because the gluten makes her not be able to absorb all the good stuff, only the sugar, which makes her overweight.
Only able to absorb the calories, but not the nutrients.
Exactly. So if she gets on a gluten-free diet, that's going to help her lose weight, just that alone. And she's taken, at 200 pounds, she should be taking 2 of those. I would take 2 of the healthy bone and joint packs because she's got the arthritis so bad.
Well, she doesn't like the taste. We're going to have to rebuild this a little bit. So here's what I would do. But you're exactly right. Because of her weight, here's where I would go. Leanne, what I want you to do next time you order, go ahead and get 2 quarts of what we would call Cal Toddy. People who don't like the OsteoX Plus, whether it's the powder or the liquid, love the Cal Toddy. So once you get 2 quarts of that a month, take an ounce of breakfast, ounce of dinner. Go ahead and get the tangerine peach that you like, the 2.0. Go ahead and get 2 canisters of that per month, so you can take 2 scoops twice a day. Go ahead and get, if you like the glucogel kind of stuff, I'd go ahead and get the capsules of the glucogel. Take 15 a day. There's 2 bottles a month of the glucogel. You don't taste them. They're capsules. Get 2 bottles of glucogel a day. Take 15 a day, 5 at breakfast, 5 at lunch, 5 at dinner. I go ahead and get the EFA Pluses, get 2 bottles of that a month, so you can take 3 at breakfast, 3 at dinner. And that'll give you all your basic stuff you need for the arthritis and the back problem and so forth. And for the hemorrhoids, which is just varicose veins of the lower colon and the anal area. What would you do for the varicose veins in her colon and anal area, Shar?
Varicose veins and stuff, she needs copper, so I would give her selenium.
Yep, I'd go ahead and get 2 bottles of selenium a month, so you can take 3 twice a day. And for the digestive stuff, go ahead and get the herbal rainforest. Take a full ounce of that at bedtime at night with a glass of water, and call us every 2 weeks, and we'll walk you through this. Leanne, sounds pretty straightforward. Char, hit the button on the head. Okay. Well, thank you, everybody. Really, really, really great testimonies and great questions today. Thank you so much, Char. Superlative as usual. Thank you so much, Doug and Billy. Superlative job as usual. God bless each and every one of you. God bless our troops. God bless our Navy SEALs. And God bless America.